What's up, party people, and hello, my friends. It's your girl, welcome to China, and welcome to my channel, baby. And today, y'all, we're going to go ahead and talk about Kevin Samuels calling Saweetie an adjustable 6. We're going to talk about him on the Joe Budden podcast. For those who do not know, I've done multiple videos on Kevin Samuels and his ideals. I am a Kevin Samuels girl. I am definitely one of those girls that call in and be like, Mr. Samuels, I definitely just love you and everything you talk about. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuels. My partner and I watch him. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to unpack it for somebody who understands what he's talking about. For those who do not know, he's been on a lot of media shows now as of late. He just went on the Joe Budden podcast. The last interview I watched with him was No Jumper, where he really opened up more about himself. But we're going to go ahead and talk about this one as well. I'm on my way to 900. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. 900 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So for those who do not know, Kevin Samuels is on the Joe Budden podcast, and on this week's episode, they were basically getting to know Kevin. Basic same questions. If you've watched him or if you've watched his No Jumper interview, you kind of get down to the basics. Kevin Samuels starts, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. He starts as saying that he's an image consultant. That's where he started. He used to be in corporate. He used to do sales. He used to give black people opportunities and question, well, why is it an issue if I'm just hiring black people and white people just hire white people all the time? You know, what are these really differences? So he was a trailblazer. With that being said, I'm going to take my necklace, bring it to the back. He was a trailblazer from the beginning in all of his fields. So he started on YouTube basically doing like different reviews for men about like pills and like different perfumes and colognes and things like that. So he was really into image consulting, and then he kind of blew up doing different videos that kind of went viral. He talked about the, average at best video, which was one of Kevin's very first videos, that kind of went viral. He said it got more views at the end of the day than videos that have been on World Star Hip Hop for a year. So 8 times that time, triple that time, quadruple that time. So Kevin has been trailblazing. So one big thing I wanted to bring up that he talked about was he basically challenges black women's ideals. He proved this point. He talks about it on his streams as well. Black women at any rate are the least married by any, and white women have that cut in half. So the closest is still cut in half. So black women are not getting married. He feels like we're putting our careers before basically putting our careers before being happy. And I had to really look at myself and what I was doing. And a lot of things that Kevin Samuels says does make sense, because I was definitely pushed in my life to be college educated. I'm college educated. I work for Bernie Sanders. I work for Joe Biden. I'm very accomplished at 25 years old. And I was still reaching for more. And then I got with my boyfriend, who makes great money. And it's a high value man. And he doesn't care about how much money I make or whatever. He lets me sit at home and do YouTube all day and be happy. So, those things really do not matter. Being honest and just letting people know. I didn't get this for no reason. Just saying. So with that being said, any hope, he feels like women don't really give any hope to men. He said, do you talk to me in good faith? He feels like women don't necessarily come into the conversation having good faith. A lot of the times he says he mirrors what people give to him. People do come on Kevin Samuels streams. If he says, have you sat and watched a stream? Do you know what I'm talking about? He does question people back with the question. He has great debate skills. And usually the women who call in flip their lids first. And he said people are like, why did you call in, girl? Why did you do that? I would have checked him. I would have cussed him out. He's like, why did these ideals change? The women want to just sit here and cuss out men. And I had to catch myself, because when I first got into my relationship, my boyfriend would make me mad. My partner would make me upset. My future husband would make me upset. I would want to cuss him out, attack him. I can't act that way. And I was like, that's not me living into my feminine energy and me being a woman. I'm very girly. Y'all see I got on my little pigtails. I'm about to go to brunch today. So, being feminine and things like that, being submissive, were not an issue for me, but very much so in the black community. I have to still point out, as women, we have to always have our armor up. Majority of us grow up in the hood. Majority of us grow up in places where we have to protect ourselves. All types of things happen to women. So I'm saying, these conversations we're still having are not taking away that men hurt women, that men assault women of all races. All these things happen, but we're just talking about dating. We're just talking about the clean stuff, for the most part. He goes on to say that at this rate, black women are not getting married to black men at all. And it is more than enough black men, he said this, for black women to get married. But women basically want to look down on men. Black men, are trying, to get with black women. But, if they're not making $100,000, he says the black women really don't, wanting to do with no broke man. But I wouldn't consider, I guess, really with statistics of man making 40, 50, 60, $75,000 a year. That is not bad by any means. But he still asked the women if you want to make, work significantly after you have a child. And I don't. I'm telling everybody, that's why I agree with Kevin Samuels. I don't want to work. I don't want to do none of that. I want to do YouTube. I want to have my own endeavors. I want to take care of my kids. That's very important. I have very great caretakers in my life, thankfully, while my mother was working, and not everybody gets that luxury. I'm going to be moving in other places. So just for my personal life, I don't think it's anything wrong with being a woman. And ladies, let me tell you, it's nothing wrong with being feminine. It's nothing wrong with letting a man foot the bill. And, a lot of men, I just feel like you can't afford it if you're going to complain about, paying for your women's dinner or wanting to split bills. I've never had to complain. I've never had to worry about paying anything if they can afford it. So I just think it just comes with, the territory. Obviously, if you're making $40,000 a year, to be honest, then you're probably not going to be paying those $300, $500, $600 tabs that we see on Facebook trending. But some men, it does not matter. Somebody's paying the bills. So some men, again, this is the upper epsilon, as they say. This is high value men. So this is not an everyday person's conversation that people are having here. So just pointing that out as well. Now let's talk about Saweetie. So everybody, this has been trending. Everybody said he called Saweetie an adjustable 6. And we know that Saweetie is like fine. But, Tasha K and everybody was kind of saying Saweetie got a lot of Botox, this, that, and the third. I love Saweetie. So I didn't really have an issue with it. But, he wanted to say, that Saweetie was having a little bit of too much going on. And she was adjustable 6 from cute to pretty. But he's talking about no makeup, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong, type of Drake deal. So, I felt Kevin on that tip. Also, it's still a little bit difficult to gauge, what Saweetie look like without makeup, this, that, and the third. I know we all look different. But, hey, you got to win some, you lose some. I'm just happy I'm wearing my natural hair. What do y'all think? So, with that being said, that was still a point that he wanted to make. He doesn't really compare Hollywood to, like, average, everyday women. But, hey, men don't think about money and all these things and icy and all this, that, and the third. I guess he was not here for it. But it wasn't that big of a deal as everybody was making. That's his personal opinion. Saweetie's probably not his type. I don't know if he likes, the high fashion, really... Saweetie's a baddie. I don't know if he likes the icy type of girls. Who knows? He's a little old school, so he might like him a little bit more natural. So that's that. Last thing. The men not caring about women's money. Joe Budden was up there like, yeah, Kevin, he dated Sin Santana, he lived that life and all this. But all of them men sat up there and said that they didn't really care about what money women was making. And that was just another point that he was making, that it's other things that women can, bring to the table, being submissive, feminine, all those things, being a partner, being a team player, all those things. Basically just being a well-rounded woman, smart. And, it doesn't take away from any aspirations and things like that. And I was watching the Roommates podcast as well, and Hafiz was talking about, like, sometimes, like, men just don't want the IG baddie per se, because it's kind of just more than not just the body and what you have to offer. So that's maybe what he was talking about with the Saweetie thing. But that was pretty much it, y'all. If you watch any other Kevin Samuels interview, you know about Kevin Samuels, but those are really the points that kind of stuck out to me. I watched the Joe Budden podcast. Sometimes the guys he had on this week asked good questions. Joe Budden, he didn't know too much about Kevin, but he reached out, I felt. And I'm excited to see what more Kevin has to do. I mean, I was watching Kevin at 200,000. Now he's at like 700,000 or 750. Who knows at this point? So definitely let me know how you feel about Kevin Samuels. Do you watch him? Did you watch this interview? Did any of these interviews he's done, this one or No Jumper, change your mind about him? And just let me know. Hit that subscribe button. I'm on my way to 900 subscribers. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.